I've got a stoma in my head now. Which is a good thing to have in your head, isn't it? Okay.
Here we go, we're live. Hello everyone from sunny Cardiff. Well, it was sunny, now it's just dark.
Well, yeah, it's because it's night time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, this is the first time we've done a live quiz. We've done a few sort of offline ones which were fun to do, but this is a bit more nerve-wracking because, well, Faye, you did all the work for it, which has been awesome.
Well, I mean, to one or two things.
Just sit back and crack the whip. This is quite a casual sort of quiz, isn't it? It's not like it's not going to be anything too taxing or full on. It's just going to be a nice sort of coasty sort of quiz.
Yeah.
And then we'll maybe next week do one that's just really, really full on.
Yeah.
For a challenge, you know?
I was going to say that it's aimed like at everyone, isn't it? Really, who's grown up with games or played games or bought games for the children or anything like that, isn't it? It's not particularly like you have to be a gamer just to.
Yeah, it's not 20 questions about like Action Biker starring Comes and sponsored by Skips, which was my original intention for this quiz.
You love that, don't you?
I do love that game. Generally, one of the best games in the Commodore. The music, I think, is Rob Hubbard who did the music, and it's just the whole thing about being an isometric game about just collecting parts to a bike. There's something just really. It's such good music.
I do like the music in that game. I wish we had the hands so we could show people. But pros probably know what we're talking about.
Cool. So just having a quick look at the comments. Are we streaming okay? Can you hear everything before we kick off in a couple of minutes with the quiz?
Yes, let us know about the sound and whatnot, because
just having a little look at the comments. But
I mean, it was quite surprisingly easy to set up, wasn't it? But then it's the whole issue with the webcam. This is beyond me. This is too futuristic.
Yeah, usually we just like record
point
stuff
and click. Yeah. But, on the iPhone, and even this is not on a phone. So.
Oh, here we go. Some London City Nice just said it sounds good to me. Hello, Dave.
Yeah.
I've got a sneaking suspicion that man is going to do well at this quiz. Yeah, and Colin Swim. Oh my God, maybe Colin! I haven't seen you for a while, fella. Hope you're all good. He looks like a Scottish Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Ah, yeah. Nice.
So basically, we'd both fancy him. Which is good.
Watch out, man.
So I think us 2 minutes with a couple of minutes. What I did notice while we were sort of in here setting all this up is that for some reason we've got 3 copies of U-Star 2 on the PS3.
Obviously.
Yeah, I just noticed them all together and I thought there's no need for anyone to have 3 copies of that game.
That was such a good game, and I remember playing it back in, was it 2014? Or perhaps a bit earlier than that.
The video quality on this is astonishing.
But it's good. And it's really cool we put it in the other day, didn't we, to have a little look through, and just seen all old videos of what you kind of ad-libbed to, and I quite liked that game, but I had bad ratings. Really bad ratings.
We had to set up the PS3 to play it, and the quality of the video and like the problems you have with it. It's a cool idea. You can probably get it for like 5p online if you fancy it, but you need the PS3 camera and stuff.
Yeah. And the reason why we do have 3 copies is because one didn't work on the second.
That was it. They kept on breaking. We should probably talk about the quiz and not U-Star. I just realised we're just talking about U-Star.
More than that for no reason for a game that came all those years ago.
So yeah, there's the quiz is sort of set up into 4 rounds. So you've got 20 questions general knowledge, and then there's 5 questions of a picture round. You've got to guess the game from the cover, and honestly, I should be a graphic designer. The skills I use to take out the titles are astonishing.
They're not that good.
Oh, hey.
I mean, they're amazing.
And then the third round is you've got to guess the quotes from the video game. And then the final round, which you did as a sneaky extra one, which was good.
Yeah, I felt like I should have a sneaky extra one, was video game references in movies.
Yeah, which is specific.
Well, quite a few 90s movies on there.
And I think it's the toughest round as well, I'm not going to lie to you.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know, again, like on certain rounds what you're thinking, if it should be harder, easier. I mean, you're probably all going to fly through it, so.
I think a few people will get... There's 35 questions, and I can imagine a few people getting full marks, but I think there's a couple that you'll wobble on, especially the last round. The video games in movies round, I think, is a bit saucy.
Sorry, everyone.
That's fine, that was your round. So, yeah, it's... Yeah,
we'll kick off in a couple of minutes, do you reckon? So if anyone wants to put up their glasses.
Yeah, we'll kick off in literally a couple of minutes if you fancy getting a nice strong drink. We've got a few here that I think I'm in danger of running out of, actually.
Drink it slowly then.
I'll sip. It's next to your Elvira Boutique sweets.
She's a brilliant woman. Glad to be soon.
No date on those sweets, by the way, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, but they were bought not long ago from Hollywood, so from my brother. I'm sure they're fine.
Oh, here we go. Colin Swinburne has just said he will be the winningest, and which is astonishing because he's an English teacher.
So. Well, I'm glad someone's going to win it.
Oh, and Alex, the drummer in every band I've ever been in, has just said he's drinking. So,
which means everyone else should be drinking. So,
Alex,
cheers, everyone.
If all of these questions were about Siphon Filter, you would be there. You would be there. But yeah, I think we should just kick off. It's 1 minute past 8. Should we?
I think we should start.
Everyone,
make a start soon.
As long as you got a drink and you got a pen and paper, you're ready to rock.
Yes. Happy Friday, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to the quiz. And our first kind of no, we haven't. It's not our first one. We've done a couple, haven't we? But this is.
Yeah, if you enjoy this, on the Kingdom of Carts channel, we've got a few we've done obviously offline, so you can just do those and as you go along and then we'll probably do the same next week.
Yeah.
Do the same live quiz.
It's quite fun, isn't it? But I love. It's so hard at these times, doing obviously we're in lockdown at the moment, and just having that kind of gaming community or having something you kind of got interested in and kind of putting up there online and putting it live and.
There's something a bit saucy about it.
Yeah.
So,
should we make a start? So you've got your pen and papers ready.
Get your HB pencils ready on your paper.
Yes, specifically HB.
There's 20 questions in this round, and this is question 1. Do a drum roll. Good. Here we go. So this is the general knowledge round, and there's 20 questions in this round.
Mm-hmm. Right, you going to kick off, or shall I kick off?
You kick off. Go on.
No, you kick off. I'm joking. Okay, so this is question 1. What is the name of Sonic's faithful fox sidekick? And that was, what is the name of Sonic's faithful fox sidekick? I thought I'd just do it quite slowly because I talk really fast in my mom's accent. So.
Because you will.
And that's quite really hard to say, surprisingly.
It's very sibilant and it's got a lot of alliteration in it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, alliteration, of course.
So yeah, I'm sure you've all got this. If no one's got this, come on, guys.
You may as well just leave it now.
Yeah, unless you're under 15, and then maybe there's an excuse. So,
but even 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds have got Sonic jerseys on or whatever.
It was my son's first word, actually. The answer to this question was his first word.
And we haven't got a son, so...
My son from a previous relationship, his name is Dennis Quaid. That's Dennis Quaid.
I need to write that down, don't I?
1 Q, not 2 like I thought. So question 2.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter 2, the character Blanca hails from which country? So I thought this was a bit of a cheeky one because there's a lot of things you can do with the characters from Street Fighter 2 because there's a lot of information about them kicking around. But we won with Street Fighter 2 because it's a classic and we didn't want to just do a character name. But I just remember playing this game not on the Amiga because you cannot play this game with one button. On the Mega Drive, and when you click on it and the way it says the home country, it's something that I do remember a lot from my childhood. So,
well, they're giving her away. In my head, I wanted to give her away then, so I'm glad I didn't speak.
Yeah, I can see Colin being a saucy little tinker there and putting the answers down on the. I don't know how people feel about that, Colin. Putting the answers down. I don't know. It's up to you.
It's all about winning, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it's just he could be wrong, he could be right.
Yeah,
maybe he's right.
We'll see.
So
let's move on to question 3.
You do the honors.
Oh, come on, I'll click. Okay, so this is question 3. Which actor voices the father character in Fallout 3? And that's which actor voices the father character in Fallout 3?
And it's not Dennis Quaid. Little tip.
Why is every answer Dennis Quaid?
I'd had my way with this quiz, my lady. My goodness. The action biker, Dennis Quaid, and then Siphon Filter so Alex can get a few right. Okay.
I do love the Fallout games, though. No, so I'm glad there's a Fallout question.
You say you love Fallout games. 1, 2, 3 in New Vegas are really good. And then Fallout 4 is okay. And then Fallout 76 came out, didn't it? And
yeah.
Is it okay?
Felt different.
But we aren't online gamers in all fairness. There's probably like a huge contingency of people out there who love Fallout 76.
Perhaps now's the time to go online. We've got all the time. Well, especially me.
The thing is, now it would be even worse because not only would there be loads of people on the game online, but they'd be all really angry because of the lockdown as well. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so which actor voices the father character in Fallout 3?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Best of luck with that one.
When you made it, wasn't it?
Yes. So question 4. The Gears of War series is associated with which console brand? PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and just off there on the peach, Sega.
Pink.
I must admit that I thought that this was exclusive to this particular brand, but then when I did a little bit of research, it's not. It's obviously had a couple of offshoots on mobile, so I couldn't say is exclusive to which brand. And I know you're all thinking that, so we take things very seriously here at Kingdom of Cards headquarters.
Well, yeah, apparently some don't.
Yeah, the Gears of War series is associated with which console brand? PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, or Sega?
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Next one?
Yes.
I'm sure you're all flying through
Move
this.
on to question 5. 5. Yes. So, Sephiroth first appeared in which video game? Tell me which. Sephiroth first appeared in which video game?
Yeah, you've got to...
Answers on the postcard. I used to love that. When you used to watch TV shows and wherever, and you used to say, right, answers on a postcard, blah, 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 and you'd send like a cut, like...
Yeah, it was in... They would do that before it was like the text in or like, all in sort of answers.
Yeah.
Because I did used to get on TV when I was a kid a few times to like...
Like teletext and that?
Not teletext. Like, you ring and give your answer. I did that a couple of times as a kid. Sorry, Mum and Dad, if you're watching this.
Yeah, their phone bill sky high.
But the questions of the postcard thing was they'd ask a question, everyone in the world would know the answer, and then the second they sent answers on a postcard, I just completely lost interest. This falls under your love of traditional British jobs, isn't it?
Of me wanting to be a postman deep down.
So anything tied to like a traditional job, you were like, oh, I want to do that. I just realised, by the way, that we're doing this off Faye's amazing new mouse mat, which is the Workbench, the Commodore load screen.
So you could pick up the die.
No, sorry. Down. You did have it upside down. So.
Right, is it time to move on to question 6?
Yeah, question 6.
Yep.
And that is, what is the name of Sega's last video game console? So the last console they released to the home market. And to be honest, it's one I'm still discovering because I won't say why, but it's a clue. But
they've got some good games on there, haven't they?
They have. Oh, Alex just said awesome mouse mat. And Colin Swinburne just said that Teletext died in 2007 there. Unbelievable. I thought it would have been in the 90s. I mean, I remember it, but what was Bamboozle? There was like a daily or weekly quiz game called Bamboozle I remember playing on Teletext. And that was really good.
We booked a Teletext holiday once, didn't we, when we first met?
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my nan recommended it. And I said, Teletext holidays. And she said, no, they're online now. And it was a really good deal.
That's
I think it was Egypt.
Yeah, first ever holiday.
Thanks, Nan.
There we go.
So, what is the name of Sega's last video game console?
Answer on the postcard. I'm just going to keep saying that now.
Every question.
So moving on to question 7 is, which of these games doesn't exist? And you have Guitar Hero Van Halen, Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero Megadeth, and Guitar Hero Aerosmith. Which of these games doesn't exist? Guitar Hero Van Halen, Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero Megadeth, and Guitar Hero Aerosmith. And
London City Nights, hello Dave, just said that the teletext was run by Mr. Biffo of Digitizer, which I didn't know, which is pretty cool.
What sounds like days? Sorry, I missed that.
Mr. Biffo used to be a travel agent, Faye. Can you believe it?
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Can you repeat? I wasn't listening.
Alex Davis said, please be Megadeth. So, and Kim, you can write it down. If you do it in the comments, obviously, if it's right, everyone knows. So write it down if you can. We have actually got a written version of this because we can email out if people want it to do it at home or whatever. So
you can do that, can't we?
Just send us a message. So, which of these games doesn't exist?
I love Guitar Hero as well. Very weirdly difficult.
It's weird when you actually play guitar because it's hard, but it's so simplified that I weirdly got no joy from it.
But
I like Rocksmith.
we went over a friend's once, you know who you are, and we played Guitar Hero, and I thought, I'm going to be good at that because I'm really good at rhythm games. But
we disconnected for a second. Oh, we're back on. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully you can all hear us now. So, question 8. A Master Chief is a character from which series of games?
Answers on the postcard. Sorry, I got
Every
to do
time.
it.
Oh, you do the honors one.
No question. Question 9. Which company develops the Sims series of games? I love the Sims. Everything about the Sims. So which company develops the Sims series of games?
I didn't know this. You seem to think this was a really easy question. But they're a very specific company that only kind of really make this game. So if you don't know it, then...
No, but it is because I always remember the logo and the packaging. I remember the colours and so whatever. But I was a Sims game player, so I played on PC and I went over a friends and they played it, and that got me introduced to it. And I remember thinking when I was like 13, 14, thinking, oh my god, this is amazing. It's so magical, like controlling these little people.
The problem with those games is Colin's on it, and it's 5 a.m. in Australia, so...
Oh, hi.
He's keen. Hello.
Have you been to bed, or have you just woken up, or is this...
I reckon he's had a few cans. But, yeah, so the which company...
been drinking all night.
That would be amazing, and likely. Which company develops the Sims series of games? Like I said, this is one that I didn't know. So, question 10. In 1991, the Addams Family game has you playing as which member of the family? Wednesday Addams, Morticia Addams, Uncle Fester, Gomez Addams, or Lurch? Can you actually, while people are writing the answers down, can you remember the actors that played all of those?
Yes, I can see them visually.
We shall go no further.
But I'm not very good at names. Well, this was my question. So why are you tricking me? I can see them there. I was a big Addams Family lover, but again, even now, like watching things, I'm not very good with actors' names, and
I think it's just because I used to work in a video store that I just seem to remember everyone's name. But this game, it was notorious to me personally, just for the fact that the player character just seems to have a load of goose fat on their shoes. They scoot around because it's really hard to plant dumps in it.
Yeah, especially on that level of in my head, I could see the character, and then he said it. The penguin level, the ice level. Oh.
Yeah, so you've got like slippery kind of skid to a halt platform gameplay anyway on an ice level. So
it was very difficult. Again, with Back to the Future alongside that, can't do it. Yeah. Okay, so question 11. You ready? Got your pens and paper. How many bits was the Super Nintendo? Was it 64-bit, 16-bit, 8-bit, or 32-bit?
I still don't fully understand what bits are. I think it's linked to the graphical capabilities, but I think it was just more of a marketing thing.
I think it's a graphical.
You said that pretty quietly, almost like you're uncertain of it, like I just said I was.
I thought you were just going to say the bits that put the console together. So you've got like the top fascia, the bottom one. You've got the grill, the fan, the flap.
The GPU glasses up nose.
Yeah. So anyway, how many bits was the Super Nintendo? 64-bit, 16-bit, 8-bit, or 32-bit?
Oh, and Colin Twinburn just corrected us with bits is a processing power, so fair play. He's not messing around. Push those glasses up that nose, Colin, and thank you for clarifying
that's
that.
why nothing has happened for me today.
So question 12. What is the Dreamcast game in which you shoot zombies using your keyboard?
I was going to say I know that one, but...
Yeah, we've got this, and we've got the keyboard, but the console that the Dreamcast we had was broken for a long time. It was really weird. I don't know if anyone else has had this with the Dreamcast, but the lid just stopped closing. So we put a candle on it, and eventually I lost my temper with it. And I'm not an engineer, but what I did was just constantly hammer. I'm not playing Denise Lewis at Tathlon Online. Hammered the open button until it fixed. It looked like they made it, until it just unjammed itself. But yeah, it seems to be a constant issue with it. So the question is, what is the Dreamcast game in which you shoot zombies using your keyboard?
Okay. Question 13. Complete the title of this 1983 game. And could I give him a clue? Or...
No, I would just do it. This is a tough one. This is the year I was born.
This is the question I made as well, but I feel like I should. Okay, anyway, so complete the title of this 1983 game. Attack of the Mutant what? Complete the title of this 1983 game. Attack of the Mutant blank.
Tough one.
There were some awesome games released by this artist, wasn't there?
So question 14, what Sega console was released first, or which Sega console was released first? Game Gear, Pico, Dreamcast, Master System, or SG-1000? So this is which Sega console was released first? Game Gear, Pico, Dreamcast, Master System, or SG-1000?
I love Sega. Just so put out there.
I'm just looking at this because I couldn't put those in. I know the answer, but I couldn't put those in order.
Oh, really?
No, I think there's two I'd be dodgy with.
Oh, okay. That's how we're sitting in the favourite section as well. Should we move on?
Oh, sorry. London City Lights just said, I bought a Pico off eBay and got very little enjoyment out of it. This is where I say the words GX4000, Dave. We bought one from Tui Wateo down in Bridgewater.
That was brilliant. I love that, man.
You loved it, but it was a good deal on it. But when we played it, I thought, yeah, this is limited.
He was basically Del Boy, wasn't he?
It was amazing. He had so many sovereign rings on his hands.
And he had the cap on. It was Del Boy.
So, question 15.
Okay, so question 15. What is the Konami code?
And we mean, what is the Konami code, as in, the not just what is it, but how would you do it? How would you do it? You're holding that pad. You're moving those sweet, sweet thumbs. They're dancing over the plastic. What are you doing?
If I had a tattoo, that's what I want.
Where?
My hand. No, I want it like on my arm. On my arm, like there. Maybe there.
Nice, that's quite cool. So yeah, question 15. What is the Konami code?
I think OBS is tricking us.
Oh.
Yes, I think we're back. We're back in the house.
Sorry about that.
So question 16 was, what was the name of the light gun peripheral for the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System? And you were saying you didn't know until like recent years what it was.
Yeah, I didn't.
What the correct name was.
Yeah, I just thought of it as like a gun, a grey and orange gun. So, question 17.
On the answer.
Which one of the following is a ghost in the Pac-Man series? Blinky, Stinky, Blinky, or Slinky? You did this question. That's really taughty, actually, isn't it? Because they're all a little bit...
What? Blinky, Stinky, Blinky, and Slinky.
Yeah.
I used to have a Slinky.
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
Maybe I really okay, I'm going to be quiet.
So, which one of the following is a ghost in the Pac-Man series? Blinky, Plinky, Stinky, Blinky, or Slinky?
I had one to it though.
Maybe I said one twice.
So number 18. What was the original bulky Xbox controller known as?
And I always thought this was the name for this controller. I thought it was kind of done with sort of affection, but apparently it wasn't.
Because I didn't know the answer to this. I did not know it was named that.
Yeah,
that was me learning, I suppose.
Yeah, I know there's a big divide between people who are fans of the Xbox and PlayStation. I prefer, not this particular controller, but with like the modern variants of it, I prefer the Xbox controller. It feels slightly more ergonomic. But what do you say? Okay, so, top of your head, PlayStation or Xbox controller?
PlayStation. I do like the PlayStation controller, sorry. I was always a PlayStation girl, not an Xbox.
They'll be bringing this up during the inevitable divorce, so I'm glad this has been
Well,
recorded.
I grew up with the PlayStation, not an Xbox.
Yeah, that's true. It's just what you're used to, isn't it?
I do like the Xbox because they got some awesome titles on there now, but...
London City Knights has said Keith, and Colin Twinborn said the dance pad. I would love that. If like Microsoft pulled down a cloth and said, "Here it is, the dance pad,"
I'd be there.
I'm straight on it.
I'd be there. I love a dance mat. Love a dance mat.
So 2 questions left in this round. Question 19: what is the Resident Evil series known as in Japan? And that's what is the Resident Evil series known as in Japan?
I love the Resident Evil games.
I'm looking at the comments on my phone, hoping that London City Knights will again just say Keith. I would love that.
When the 2 dogs jumped out through the window in Resident Evil.
Yeah, that was generally terrifying. So that would be Keith 2, Keith 3. You'd have Keith Revelations. I can't think of any of the spin-offs. There's 27 or 28 of these games.
Question 20, I hope you're ready. What is the standard storage size of a memory card for the PlayStation 2? I was going to say...
You thought this was much higher.
I thought it was a bit of a difficult one, like a trick one.
Dave just said Keith again. Good.
But what is the standard storage size of a memory card for the PlayStation 2? I got stuck on this one because we were making up questions.
I think you got stuck on it because you saw the memory card I've got for it, which I picked up later on, which is far higher. But
because I knew what I thought it could be, but then I thought, oh, right, okay.
It does show, though, how much it's come on.
Yeah.
But so that is the end of question.
That's the end of the
round 1. Sorry, not
round
question
1. So we've got round 2 coming up shortly. So if you want to grab yourself an additional drink, which I think you should, and you're drinking my drink. That's not you going to the kitchen to get a drink, is it?
It's a small flat. That's the kitchen.
Imagine that's the game room with a kitchen, flat,
we just
everything.
go to the bedroom and the utility room.
Sleep, just like vampires.
So yeah, this is round 2. This is the picture round.
Yeah. So should we give it a couple of minutes?
Oh, I think we could
sing or dance or.
I don't sing for less than 400 quid a gig. So let's move on.
So moving on to round 2 then.
Yeah.
Picture round. And what game am I? I'm assuming you can see the picture on the background.
A little bit of a clue. It's not Sketching on the Mega Drive.
Used to love this game. Again, I feel like I'm saying this a lot, but I'm just.
I thought you were going to say Answers on a Postcard, then I'm not going to lie to you.
And Answers on a Postcard. Appropriate for this image, I'd say.
I think this game was released on every platform ever conceived by man.
I think it was,
yeah.
I can see a few of them, like, just by glancing. I know where you are. I can see you all the time. So what game am I?
So this is question 2. And the same thing, what game am I?
Really look, I would say, at the background. Look what's happening. Where are you? Look at bottom right, Elite. What is this? And
I think this is the first question of the quiz that people are coasting through. It might be a bit because it's a niche older game.
I would say a lot of the cover art on these kind of games of that era and stuff I would find difficult because there's a lot of similarities, isn't there? And a lot of the very different games.
And I think as well, this is a British variant because if you look at the eyes and it's very cartoony, and you've got a lot of that in the 80s with British stuff.
Some awesome artwork on some of these games, isn't there? And
on the Commodore, especially on the budget releases, like with Kix and
which keep seeing Arnie
and
right
Bo
there.
Jolly and stuff. Some of the artwork is amazing. So next question is.
Next question: what game am I?
It's going to be
this is picture 3. We've got an Atari game.
This is a bit of a tough one because not a tough one, but if you don't know it, you won't know it. But there are a few questions, a few clues there. You've got Atari, you've got 1978.
But if you've grown up playing this game, obviously you're going to know it. Or
I think we may have it, but I don't think I've ever played it because the Atari 2600 is one of those consoles where if you didn't grow up with it, then you probably it's a difficult one to go back to because it's literally like a start.
Apart from playing Qubit, thanks to Rupert, like who gave us that game at one point. I think it was my birthday or something.
Yeah,
I loved
on the
Cubit.
original. Yes. Yeah.
600. E.T. hard.
Yeah, not bad.
What are you doing?
Hard and quite obtuse. So this is one I think everyone's like, yeah, I've got this. I'll write this down. But we thought we'd chuck it in there as a little bit of a mid-ranger. So again, Super Nintendo, not a console that either of us really grew up with.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh my god, you just
Or
finding
did you?
information.
Did you meant to say I did?
No,
I didn't.
both my brothers had the Super Nintendo. We had the Master System, but they had the Super Nintendos, and they had one each. And I grew up with like
one each.
Yeah, we had Star Wars and
we had to play with a brick painted brown.
Yeah, that's how I learned about Super Mario and stuff.
No, the Super Nintendo is one of those consoles that whenever I get it, I feel like I'm learning. Because
I only had, I suppose, between us, we had a small kind of catalogue of games. I'd say about 20 games. You know, there's massive.
And the final question in this round: what game am I?
Also, you can see Batsy there.
Oh, Batsy! We did used to have a little. When Toys R Us closed down, we picked up like a little die-cast version of Batman. It was properly genuinely like this big, and we would hide it around the flat from each other.
Would.
Still do. The thing is, we would do it. It was like, I found Batsy. You know, he's behind the kettle, or he's behind this game, or whatever. But we've just lost it.
It's a fun game, though, isn't it?
The thing is, we'll move out of this place and then find him, and I will be the victor.
He's here somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know where though.
Wink.
All right. It's a game that goes on forever. So that was the picture round. I hope you all did pretty well with that. And so this next one is a bit of a saucy one. These last two rounds are where it gets a little bit cheeky. So this is guess the game from the quote. Do you want to kick off with the first one?
Yes. So quote number 1 is, I'm not going to say it in
the style.
The voice. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. I could have said that better. But
and yet you deliver that better than it's delivered in the game.
Well, there we go then. Write me into the game.
So that's what is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
I like that. I like that quote a lot.
It is good because it's very gamey. It's very kind of over the top.
Yeah.
It's a very gamey quote.
A miserable little pile of secrets.
See, if someone called me that, if I was like outside in a pub and someone pushed me over on the floor and they said, "You miserable little pile of secrets,"
I say thank you.
I'm not entirely sure if I'm offended or not.
It's quite magical, isn't it?
Baffled than anything else. What? So if someone pushed you over and said, "You're a miserable little pile of secrets," you'd say, "This is magical."
No, I just like the. Yeah. Anyways, move on to question 2. So number 2. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Quote number 2.
This is spoiler alert. This is a good game.
Yeah. What game is it?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us.
Okay. Question 3. Would you kindly? And I think this is one of my.
I quite like this one.
Yeah, it's such a quote filled with quiet ominousness, like the way it's presented, and it's very clever. And I know this is my friend Rupert, I believe is doing this quiz, is one of his favourite games, along with Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh, really?
But yeah, this game it's one of those ones. It's one of those games that you think, oh, I need to play that again, but you never quite get around to it.
Would you kindly? Dun, dun.
So let me just check. Is this live?
Is it working?
Oh yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm just a few seconds behind on my phone. I thought we were completely off then.
So quote number 4. You have died of dysentery.
I forgot about this.
You have died of dysentery. I was awfully upset when I used to come onto the screen.
Yeah, this was weirdly. This isn't a quote from a game. This is when I went to the doctor last week and I sat down and said, "You got my test results, doctor," and he said, "You have died of dysentery," and I thought, "It's a weird response."
Anyway, I remember playing this game back in the day. Absolutely loved it. I can't think of anything I don't want to give her away, but I loved it's really, really old school, isn't it?
I think it was played in schools.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
I think
didn't
that's
have it
how
in my
I
school.
kind of got to grips with it, I think.
But yeah, this is one of those game over screens where you would read it and think, oh, fair enough.
And they did release a handheld. I'm a massive LCD handheld gamer. It's like Tiger, System Electronics, wherever. And they released a game called this. I Want It. I think it's in America.
I genuinely dread to think of a Tiger LCD version of this game.
That is magical. It would be magical.
So the last question from this round: are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president? Which is something I hear on a daily basis. I think I've played this game actually. I've got a feeling I played this game on the. I was going to say on the system then when I was younger.
Ooh. Okay, so we'll give you a couple of seconds to.
Yeah. Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president?
We'll leave that with you for round 4. So you got a sneaky peek. Shame on you.
Yeah, no, I nearly gave it away then.
Because you need a little tickle.
So this is the final round, and this is game references and movies. And I think this is.
I like this round. This is one I made.
This is tough. This is a tough one, I reckon.
But I don't think it's that tough. But I suppose it's not heavily featured in the games. It's like it brushes past it, and it wasn't like, oh, we all lived happily ever after because this happened in the game. Well done, guys, on the news. Nobody ever mentioned it, did it? So
I don't know.
In certain questions, yeah. So I thought this is one of my favourite rounds. I think one I made up. I made other ones up, but this is the best one.
So this is the final round. There's 5 questions.
Yep.
So question 1: in the film Ghostbusters 2, the gang used slime blowers, a Walkman, and what Nintendo accessory to get the Statue of Liberty to move? So that's in the film Ghostbusters 2, the gang used slime blowers, a Walkman, and what Nintendo accessory to get the Statue of Liberty to move? And for my money, this is the hardest question of the entire quiz.
This is my favourite question.
It's good, but there's a lot going on here because not only do you have to have seen Ghostbusters 2, you have to kind of have known what that specific thing was.
Yeah, but I suppose back in the day, perhaps you would have, because if you take into consideration the date of when it came out, you'd be able to relate to what Nintendo accessory would have.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known this.
I think this was a good one, and I loved the way it was done. And it's quite a genius kind of thing.
In the comments, I'd be interested in how many of you just say, I don't know this. I don't know this. So question 2, you want to crack?
So question 2 is, in Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare, what video game accessory was used to kill off one of the children in their dreams? It's quite a brutal question,
bit of a dark question.
This is all, if anyone grew up in that era, in the late 80s, early 90s, Nightmare on Elm Street was a big thing, wasn't it? Terrifying. And Johnny Depp actually starred in one of the episodes, didn't he?
First one, he
died in the first scene.
Did he get sucked into the bed?
Yeah.
Was that him?
And there was just blood.
Colin Swinburne and London City Nights just said they both know, which is genuinely impressive. Because when Faye presented this round to me, I said the whole idea of this quiz is that it's like a casual one that like a lot of people can enjoy. And I thought, I don't know what that is. I think I have seen Ghostbusters 2. I want to watch it again, just for this.
You haven't seen Ghostbusters 2? This is what we're doing tonight after this, then.
Oh, hang on.
Seriously.
London City Nights, who has been coasting this so far, has said that he's not sure, so he's going to guess.
So, in Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare, from 1991, what video game accessory was used to kill off one of the children in their dreams? Again, I loved this in the film, watching it back as well, and just even earlier on, looking back and looking at the thing on YouTube and like the thing.
I got to say, even Colin Swinburne has said this one I'm not 100% sure of, so I knew this would be a rocky round. And I'm kind of glad because it vindicates me.
It's quite nice to have a rocky round, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always nice to be challenged. I mean, it's a quiz, but yeah, you weren't shy with the questions. I'll give you
that. Oh, sorry.
So this is the question before the penultimate question. In the film The Wizard, 1989, in a competition to win the most points, what Nintendo game do the 3 kids play? That's in The Wizard, 1989. In a competition to win the most points, what Nintendo game do the three kids play? This is marginally easier than the last one. Answers in the postcard. We read our full address and
This is good. I did like this. I like this film.
I like the film, although I do remember in The Wizard there's a scene where I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this from a teenager, where the titular wizard is playing Double Dragon, and then his older brother goes off to buy like 2 sodas or whatever, and then he comes back and he says, "Oh my God, you got 50,000 points in Double Dragon!" And I thought, Double Dragon is not that kind of game. You move through it, so in that space of like 2 or 3 minutes, you wouldn't get 50,000 points. If it was like a shooting up, it would make more sense.
Maybe he'd practice and he did like with competitions or something.
Yeah, I remember thinking, I don't think that's the right game to use as an example for that specific thing.
So, question 4. Released by Tiger Electronics. This is my favourite kind of... Anyway, released by Tiger Electronics, what non-working prop from the 1992 movie Home Alone 2 was available at Toys R Us later that year? Anyone who knows Tiger Electronics, who made LCD handhelds especially, there must be a club out there somewhere which I haven't met, of people who I haven't met who would love this kind of console and this kind of the Tiger Electronics.
I've got to say, while you're thinking about this answer, I've got a group on my phone of like a few close friends, and gaming friends of mine, and I haven't been paying attention to it because we've been doing this, but there's 94 comments in there, so I'm looking forward to flicking through those afterwards. So thanks for joining us, guys. I'm looking forward to reading through those later on.
Hello. So yeah, released by Tiger Electronics, what non-working prop from the 1992 movie Home Alone 2 was available at Toys R Us later that year?
And Colin Swinburne said, Swinburne, apologies if I'm missaying your name, they didn't plan on making the toy, but the demand was super high for it, so they ended up just making it. You've got one.
Yeah.
And you've got the watch. Was that in the film?
I've got that somewhere and I can't see it. I'm panicking. Where is it? Someone's stolen it?
Anakin Skywalker, my favourite.
It's here somewhere anyway. In the hinge.
So, yeah, this is the last question, guys. And that is, in the film Shaun of the Dead, what console was featured at the end of the movie? So what console are they playing when they go to the shed in the garden and he plays with Nick Frost?
Yeah. When I first watched this film, I didn't really take into account that. I think I watched it so many years ago, back in the day when Summerfield was around, and I worked in Summerfield at the time, when I was like 19 or something like that, so a long time ago. But after rewatching, we watched it a few times now because that's quite a classic, cool zombie film, isn't it? I love their take on the zombie kind of.
Yeah, it is massively. It is one of those films that stands up to rewatches.
It's quite clever, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun one.
Fun. It's good.
So that's it. So now it's time for the answers, guys. So I hope you've got your questions ready.
Yeah, so if we get another drink, would you like another
drink? Can you nip off and grab one because you're close to the kitchen? Is that?
Well, because I'm the woman. I'll get one because I am actually.
I'll get one because I am actually. You are.
I look for the top.
You're going to be super quick.
And then he said an answer then.
Okay, so, yeah, Faye's going to quickly grab me another drink and we'll do the answers. And I might have to. Well, actually, I've just realised that we haven't actually got the questions to come up as we do the answers, so this could be a little bit tricky, but we'll work it out. We'll sort something out through it. So I hope you'll do well, and please leave comments because after we've done the live stream, we'll go through the comments and see if we're going to get a new microphone. We're going to order one soon to up the audio quality, but also just to. If the question is too easy, too hard, I mean, we want this to be kind of general sort of quiz. We will do a hard mode one for those who are kind of more hips deep. But yeah, for now, let us know any comments in the comment box. Anything really.
Yeah, it'd be nice for feedback actually, wouldn't it?
So this is these are the answers.
Okay, so moving back to question 1, which on the general gaming knowledge
questions.
So, what is the name of Sonic's faithful fox sidekick, which I've got a problem saying? And the answer is Tails.
Yeah.
Tales of
let's
Fox.
breeze one. So let's breeze through these. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, so in Street Fighter 2, the character Blanca hails from which country? And that's Brazil.
Question 3. Which actor voices the father character in Fallout 3? And the answer is Liam Neeson.
What a relaxing voice he has.
I do like Liam Neeson's voice. Yeah.
What is the name of Sonic's? That is the same. Question 3. Which all these questions. The Gears of War series is associated with which console brand? And that is Xbox.
Yeah. So that was Xbox. Question 5. Sephiroth first appeared in which video game? And that was Final Fantasy
7. He appeared in a few others, but Final Fantasy 7 was the first one he appeared in. Sorry, the 7 is missing there. My bad.
Oh, oops. Sorry. Question 6.
What is the name of Sega's last video game console? That is the ill-fated Dreamcast, which is really good.
And it's got some amazing obscure games, a lot of obscure games, and an awesome horror one we played the other day. So,
yeah, Cannon Spike is good, and Illbleed was the one we enjoyed the other day.
Love that game.
There's some really weird games in there. Cool.
Question 7. I feel like we're going to catch up fast because we're going so fast. Which of these games does not exist? Guitar Hero Van Halen, Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero Megadeth, or Guitar Hero Aerosmith? And the answer was Megadeth.
Alex Davis, you're right. Yes, it is right without the A.
Did you get it right?
He said,
well done,
he said, please don't be Megadeth. So, yeah, long-range virtual high five.
Hope you're drinking awesome wine, by the way.
You will be drinking awesome wine. That's they did have some Megadeth DLC, so it's a bit of a trick question.
Okay, question 8. Master Chief is a character from which series of games?
And the answer is Halo. He is the protagonist in the Halo games.
Halo is one I haven't played a lot of. Just to say.
And the next question.
Okay, I'll move on to question 9 now, because otherwise you're engaged. Which company develops the Sims series of games? And the answer is Maxis.
Yeah, Maxis. I don't even know how you pronounce it because
it's almost like a little, like flippery star-like figure with different colours, isn't it? That's what I can see in my head. I can't think of it, but love The Sims. Moving on to question 10. The 1981 The Addams Family game has you playing as which member of the family? And the answer was
Gomez Goose Fat Shoes Addams. Yes.
It's him skidding across
it is so hard to plan jumps in that game because he's skidding everywhere.
Difficult game, but we need to beat him. There's so many hidden extras in it, isn't there? Question 11. How many bits was the Super Nintendo? And the answer was 16-bit.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's the computer processing power, as Colin Swinburne mentioned earlier.
Thank you. To be correct, yes. That's nice.
So question 12, what is the Dreamcast game in which you shoot zombies with your keyboard, and it is of course, the typing of the dead.
Genius.
And we own it, and we've yet to play it, because I want to wait for the perfect evening.
But I've seen things. So number 13 was complete the title of this 1983 game. Oh, that's when you were born. It's Attack of the Mutant Camels.
Thank you, Jeff Minter. So,
local artist.
Yeah, we've actually seen him kicking around a few times in, you have in Port Talbot.
Yeah, but I wasn't brave enough to say hello to him.
Yeah.
It's just really cool.
I love how you were like, you were kind of like, oh yeah, I saw Michael Sheen. But then when you saw Jeff Minter, you called me and you were like breathless and like really panicky. I didn't know he was there, Michael Sheen,
but Jeff Minter. He had his teeth, a woolen jacket with llamas on, so I knew.
Of course. What Sega console was released first? Game Gear, Pico, Dreamcast, Master System, or SG-1000? And the answer is the SG-1000.
Yep. Question 15 was, what is the Konami code? And it is up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, and then you press the start button to activate it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. Start, I suppose. I'd love a tattoo of that. If I had a tattoo, one and only, I'd have that.
Lee Manuel just said he had 50 in round one. I'll take that, which is a good shout, actually. That's really
well
good.
done. That's amazing. I don't think I would have that. So question 16.
What was the name of the light gun peripheral for the NES? And that is the Nintendo Zapper. So
the orange gun. Awesome Duck Hunt. Quite difficult, I found. But there we go. Which one of the following is a ghost in the Pac-Man series? Plinky, Stinky, Blinky, and Slinky.
And the answer is Blinky.
Yes.
And obviously, in the comments, if you want to check the other one down, if anyone can get all 4 ghosts, that'd be quite cool. In fact, first person to get all 4 ghosts in the comments wins. I've decided. You can have a copy of U-Star. What was the original bulky Xbox controller known as? And that was the Duke. And I thought it was called the Duke because everyone loved it and it was all big and cool. But no, apparently it was named after someone's son. Like someone's son.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Question 19. What is the Resident Evil series known as in Japan? And the answer is Biohazard.
Mm-hmm. Which is they're both cool names.
I love Biohazard. Seems like...
And the final question: what is the standard storage size of a memory card for the PlayStation 2? And that's 8 megabytes. I've got 128 megabyte one, which is what I think you thought was just the standard because we've had it for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. We're on to the next answer.
Yeah. So do you want to give a couple of seconds so everyone can tally up their scores and let us know in the comments as well what you had.
Fair play. Colin just said Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde.
High five!
Yeah,
high five!
I didn't even know they had names until a few years ago. So.
Pinky, Pinky, and Clyde. Yeah.
So onto the picture round.
Okay, so what picture am I? And the answer was Paperboy,
which is on the it's on everything. It's probably on my back at the moment.
Especially Mega Drive, and I'm a bit panicked because I can't see it. Fine.
Yeah, Paperboy is released on every console ever made, pretty much.
Yeah, so that was Paperboy.
This was one I thought people would struggle with. I'd be interested in the comments.
I think people would struggle with that too.
Yeah, it's a bit of a saucy one.
And with all these kind of like 5 wonders and stuff, like you just kind of...
Instantly, when you said that, it showed me the Wonder by the Manic Street Preachers in my head.
Good done.
Oh, London City in 1920. Good work. Which one did you get wrong, actually, Dave? That'd be really cool to know.
It's amazing.
So, yeah, this was Bomb Jack, classic game, which features as a mini game in the Tourist or the Nintendo Switch, which we recently enjoyed.
Because that's a cool game as well.
So Adventure, I think this is one that would have thrown a few people off just because of its age, because it is 1978.
And looking at the cover as well, that could have been anything. I mean, most things you can hazard a guess, but back in that day, you couldn't hazard a guess.
I mean, even a dragon, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure the whole game is set in a castle. So you
Dragon Castle or something.
Dragon Castle.
But no, it's Adventure. Next one, Super Metroid.
Yeah,
which I think perhaps people would have got.
It's not the best cover art in all fairness.
No.
It does look a little bit...
George and the Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, it is though, it is. And okay, the final one is... Which one am I? And it's Batman Arkham Asylum, which you may have got confused about because I did.
I did wonder if people would see it, because I thought people are going to know it's Batman, and it's either going to be Arkham Asylum or Arkham City. And I wondered if anyone wrote Arkham City for this. Well, let us know if you did, because I thought we may throw a few people off.
Sorry about that, but
it's Arkham Asylum, which is for me the best of the Arkham games because it was more focused and streamlined.
So we're on to round 3 answers, quotes from video games, and the first one was...
Oh, they're all here actually.
What is a man, a miserable little pile of secrets? And that was Dracula, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
And the second question is, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world, and that's Half-Life 2, said by the G-Man. I haven't played Alex or Black Mesa, the remake of the original, but cool. Would You Kindly is said by Andrew Ryan in the game Bioshock, which is... I remember Bioshock really quickly. I remember this game really fondly because I split up with someone years ago.
You split up with me.
Shut the laptop, have an argument. And we lived in the same house for a few days. And I literally just came up from work, shut the door, and played Bioshock. I was in the dark. It was amazing.
I'm glad you played that.
Yeah.
So the fourth one was You Have Died of Dysentery, and that was Oregon Trail.
Of course it is. We've got the book in the bathroom, so when I'm like washing my hands, I look up and it's just Oregon Trail, and I think, I
saw that book, I had to get it. I could not get it.
And are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president? And that was Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. And that little picture that Faye's checked in there is obviously from the Oregon Trail, which was released in 1946.
So into the last round then, round 4.
And this is... Oh, do you want to do the honours?
Yeah, so this was video games featured in movies, and the first one was in the film Ghostbusters 2. The gang used slime blowers, a Walkman, and what Nintendo accessory to get the Statue of Liberty to move? And I thought this was genius. Such a good idea. And that was the NES Advantage, Nintendo NES Advantage. It's so cool. We've got one somewhere, haven't we? Like, we bought from France, actually.
Yeah, I think it worked. It probably just needs a wire.
Yeah, it was like €10 or something, and you'd just have to have that because it just looks gorgeous anyway.
So heavy, so difficult to pack.
Basically a massive like joystick pad, isn't it?
So I think this question threw off a lot of people. In Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare in 1991, what video game accessory was used to kill off one of the children in the dreams? And that is the Nintendo Power Glove. And is that the one where? No, it's not that. I'm thinking of Dream Warriors, where he pulls her into the TV. I generally don't know this scene.
Yeah, the Power Glove, and she's in the TV. She's on like a little game in the TV, and she's like, and she's like, like laughing and stuff.
That's a pretty good impression of Freddy Krueger laughing.
Through that guy in the glass door, wasn't it?
We'll have to watch that then. That's not a problem at all.
Again. Oh, we're busy tonight, don't we, after
this? So in the film The Wizard 1989, in a competition to win the most points, what Nintendo game did the three kids play? And the answer is Super Mario Bros. 3. Which you could sort of work out from the year. That was a bit of a clue.
Yeah, so that's the only thing really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Released by, this is number 4, released by Tiger Electronics, what non-working prop from the 1992 movie Home Alone 2 was available at Toys R Us later that year, and that was the Talk Boy.
Which you own, weirdly. Can you see it? You keep looking around.
Can you reach it? It's too high for me.
Oh, I can actually grab it.
Let's do the Talk Boy. You probably know what the Talk Boy is, but this was kindly donated by my sister. She recovered from my parents' attic, and thanks, Kim. I used to love that. I used to think,
does that take cassettes?
Cool. Yeah. I used to just talk into it like this, didn't he? And cassette in the magic again. Such a cool thing. I think the door's a bit funny on this one. She obviously used it a lot. So,
and the last question, I can see a few people have put up their scores, so we'll have a quick Gucci in a minute, but that is, in the film Shaun of the Dead, what console was featured at the end of the movie? And that is the PlayStation 2. You may be able to work out what game they're playing by the sounds, but they might be generic sounds. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, so thank you for everyone for joining in. It was quite fun, actually, wasn't it? Even like compiling the quiz together and...
Lee, sorry, just reading out a few of these comments I've got here. And that's Lee saying he had a Talk Boy. It could be on eBay right now, Lee, if you played your cards right. Lee had 25 out of 35. Rupert Harvey had 24 out of 35.
High five.
London City Knights, 33 out of 35. And Colin Swinburne had 33 out of 35. I've got to say, it's a draw between those. We should...
Ooh, let's do a tiebreaker.
Oh, let's do a tiebreaker then.
Okay, so we'll do a tiebreaker, and we've got a video game quiz book. We could...
yes.
We wrote a video game quiz book back in...
Available
last year, wasn't it? It took us a few years to make it. So yeah, I reckon pick a
okay, we didn't plan for this, but the book's obviously in the room. So this is for Colin Swinburne and London City Knights to win the quiz. And this is multiple choice in our book, but I'm not going to give you that. So, which British comedian voiced Ralph the dog in the game Sleepwalker on the Amiga? I just opened it to that random question. So, I'm intrigued what they say.
Answers on a postcard or on the chat.
I know. I'm waiting to see the quiz now.
I'm quite intrigued now. I'm actually really looking. Come on, guys.
So that's...
what do you reckon?
Which British comedian voiced Ralph the dog in the game Sleepwalker? Okay. Colin has said Rick Mail. And London City Knights, what's your final answer? Come on. Alexi Sale, you're both wrong. It's Lenny Henry.
Oh,
so are we going to have to do another one?
Yeah. To get right.
Okay. Populous was made by which company? So that's again for Colin and London City Knights.
Evans.
Populous was made by which company?
You will practice. I'll give you the book and you can practice.
I can't believe it's come down to a tiebreaker. I like the fact we happen to have a book for this, though. Oh, they both had it right. This is ridiculous. Come on, guys.
Someone get it wrong. We're going to be here all night. It doesn't matter. We've all the time in the world now. We will be here all night as well.
Okay. Tiebreaker. Which two weapons are able to be stolen from other riders in Road Rash 2? And if you don't get this, I'm sorry.
Perhaps you should say the multiple choice in this one, perhaps.
Multiple choice. No, I think they've done so well. So,
I've got every faith, obviously, in them.
which two weapons are able to be stolen from other riders in Road Rash 2? Both got it right. Okay.
Of course you have, because you froze.
A good amount of questions here.
Let me pick one.
Oh, go on, you pick one.
Okay, so...
This is ridiculous.
Right.
We didn't plan for this.
So, my question is... The Binatone TV Master Colour TV game series, Coleco Telstar series, and Philips G7000 are all examples of what kind of console?
Bloody hell.
But then they're probably going to know this.
Read out again, one.
Do you want to read it? Because I'm quite fast.
Which one is this?
This is that one.
The Binatone TV Master Colour TV game series, Coleco Telstar series, and Philips G7000 are all examples of which console?
I mean,
Dave.
Come on, it depends what he says.
Well, so they both kind of got it right. This is ridiculous.
Because it is a standalone TV console and a Pong console, or a sports console, or... Do the final one, go on.
Okay, I'll try another one, just to trick you up. What is the name of the home planet in the Toe Jam and Earl series? I think this is going to have a definite winner. So, what is the name of Toe Jam and Earl's home planet?
Cut the book in half. No.
It would be quite cool, actually. Do you know what? I will, if you... Oh. And Colin's answer... Yeah. The answer was Funkatron.
Close.
So, London City Nights, if you send us your address, we'll post you a copy of the book to say thanks for taking part and winning the quiz. The planet was Funkatron. Funkopia is closer than you beat me. So, guys, thank you so much for making this. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, thank you. And join us tonight.
Tonight, yeah, after this.
No, but it's quite nice. Okay, join us if you would like, but obviously, under circumstances, you can't. But it's just quite nice doing something like this, something a bit different on a Friday night, isn't it? Because you are quarantined, you are by yourself. I'm fed up with your company now, and other people's company, don't I?
So London City Nights, send us your address in a DM, and we'll send you a copy of the book out. And thanks everyone for taking part, and we'll see you next time. And please, in the comments, let us know of anything that
we can do better at, or we can just what we want to see in the quiz, or maybe the sound was too loud or too quiet, or just anything really, isn't it? Feedback's always good. So if you didn't like it and you had a bad time, tell us, please.
But either way, we love you all. Have a good evening all, and stay safe.
Happy Friday.
Bye bye.